Hello to our favorite listeners and viewers. You're welcome back on another episode of Fit and Fabulous. This is the Ordained Radio TV Gospel Ministry where we bring you the end time news, the undiluted word of God, dynamic praise, life worship, trending health facts, gist of love and marriage. Well, we have another series which we'll be starting today as we begin the year. And what is that series all about? In 2020, the most recent statistic shows that about 27.5 million people living in Nigeria has hypertension, and that is about almost 1/3 of the total population of people living in Nigeria. So it's cause for alarm, and that was in 2020. Now we're in 2025, and the number has increased, has risen to over 28 million people living in Nigeria. Now, hypertension series. That is what we'll be taking. We need to enlighten you, people around you. If you know one person, if you know friends, relatives, please invite them. Let them watch this video because we'll be bringing in health practitioners on our doctor's decks that will enlighten us on this topic. So, hypertension. Blood pressure is the force of blood pushing against the walls of our blood vessels as the heart pumps it. And so hypertension occurs when the pressure is persistently elevated, not just once, but repeatedly elevated. And now, how can we measure hypertension? We can do it using a sphygmomanometer, and it is measured in millimeters of mercury. But we now have automated blood pressure monitors available for home use. So high blood pressure, which is also known as hypertension, it happens when the force of your blood pushing against the walls of your blood vessels is too high. Your tissues and organs need the blood that is being circulated by the heart, right? And your heart makes this happen. As your heart beats, the blood is being pushed out of the heart to all parts of your body through the arteries. And the blood vessels that carries the blood from the heart is the arteries. The ones that carry the blood back to the heart is the vein. Then the in-between that connects the arteries and the vein is the capillaries. Now, when the blood pressure is too high for too long, let's take for instance, when you connect a water hose to a tap. If you put the tap on low, it just flows right through, right? But when you increase the pressure, when you increase the intensity of the water flowing through the water hose, what happens? You can literally feel the vibration of the water passing through, right? Now imagine it. Arteries are just tiny pipes that carries this blood. And what happens when the pressure is too much flowing through it? We'll go into it. So now, when the pressure is too high for too long, it can damage the walls of the blood vessels, and it causes them to develop tear. And of course, the body will always send special cells to go to those sites and stick on it to cover those tears. But over time, substances such as cholesterol and fats, they may build up on these damaged tears, and they end up forming plaque on those sites. And now when these plaques are formed on those sites, in turn, it makes the arteries more narrow, and they begin to block the flow of blood, causing an increase in the pressure. High blood pressure is often referred to as a silent killer, as most of the time there are no known symptoms, there are no physical symptoms, which is why you need to check your blood pressure often. It is a silent killer. A lot of people are walking around with high blood pressure without them knowing it. A normal pressure, you would ask me, okay, so what does a normal pressure, what does it read? A normal pressure reads around 120 to 80 millimeters of mercury. And now when it feels higher, you enter stage 1, stage 2. All of which will be explained when we bring in a health practitioner. So what puts you at risk of having high blood pressure? Before I go into that, if you are watching us on Facebook, you can listen in on our radio website at www.ordainedradio.com.ng, or you watch us on our YouTube at Ordained Radio, and the link will also be posted, will be included in the post. And if you are watching us on our YouTube channel, you can watch us on Facebook at the Ordained Radio TV. So back to our discussion. What puts you at risk of having high blood pressure? Older age. As one age, the blood vessels begin to weaken. There's a lot that has been going on in recent age, right from when they're young, and so when they get older, they are at risk of having high blood pressure. Genetics. Being overweight, not being physically active, high salt diet, drinking too much alcohol. All this puts you at risk of getting high blood pressure. So I'm wrapping up, and of course, like I said earlier, in our next episodes we'll be bringing in health practitioner who will actually go deep into this topic. This topic is actually needed for every one of us to take note of. It is a silent killer, and considering the estimated value of number of people that have hypertension in Nigeria right now, it's really calls for alarm, and it calls for us really watching ourselves. You don't need to wait for you having headaches and you having blurry vision. That's some complicated high blood pressure, the ones that have gone overboard, now begin to come with those symptoms: blood vision, fainting, irregular heartbeat. But before it gets to that, you don't need to wait for all of this before you get your blood pressure checked. I mean, when you even walk into the hospital and it's okay, you want consultation, you want to see a doctor, the first thing they do is they check you. They check for your blood pressure and a lot of other factors before you see a doctor. It is very important. So let us take this into consideration. Go for your checkup today. In fact, after watching this video, go for your checkup. Just know the range of your blood pressure so that you can actually monitor it. So with that, I will leave you with this. Hypertension is common, but it can be serious, and it actually comes with a whole lot of baggage, a whole lot of other health complications if it is not treated and if it's not well managed. But it can be managed. So please go for that checkup and know what stage you belong, and know if you need to start working on it on time, and know if you need to actually prevent it. So there are a lot of factors to consider in this series. So with that, we'll end today's episode. It doesn't end here. In our next episode, we'll continue, and our next episode will be the doctor's desk, and we'll have a health practitioner on the program. So thank you so much for joining us. I remain your host, Ajayi Adenike. Till we meet again next time, please stay healthy and go for your checkup. Thank you.